That's my kryptonite. All right, I'm gonna knock on wood. I pride myself on if someone takes my back, I don't get worried. But I do have two kryptonites. One is the bow and arrow. I can get out. And the other one is the darts. I'm telling you, I'm giving you my whole game.
Bro,
I guess it don't matter,
you do
right?
realize we like the same game, right? So we have the same weakness. The good thing you have to worry about.
If I get darsed, if you darce me, I'm gonna be so mad.
That's what. Man, thank you again for coming out, bro. I really appreciate it. Like, DJ Sig for everyone who is tuning in. So Michael Ross, who's decided to come on and be a guest again. Right now, we're actually watching Invitational 5, and Mason Fowler is going against the Giraffe.
Hyson Rita.
Yeah, Hyson Rita. I need to know how to pronounce his name. He's a really cool dude, though. I like him.
Yeah.
Especially, you don't see a lot of brothers out here doing their thing, so I always got love for the brothers.
But, I love Hyson, but he relies so much on being athletic.
You think so?
Yeah. Like, I mean, it's not like he doesn't have any, skill. He does. But it's being shown you can, he's lacking in something.
Got
and,
it.
if he can get away with his athleticism, but only against certain guys.
Yeah.
So it's only going to take him so far.
That's why this match with Mason is very interesting, because Mason is technical.
Yeah.
And I think he's very underrated on the grappler scene.
Yeah. I love Mason.
I really wanted to see him go against Gordon Ryan. Although, I've said it before, the only thing that matters to me is number one hero versus the number two hero. Nicky Rod versus Gordon Ryan. Anything else doesn't matter.
You don't want to see him and Craig? I would love to see him and Craig.
Gordon and Craig?
Yes.
I don't think Craig juices, or if Craig juices, he doesn't juice and body builds. So I just think by strength-wise...
No, I don't think that he needs to. I think on the right day, Craig catches him.
Okay.
I really do.
You think? Oh,
because they both want to play jiu-jitsu. They don't want to stall. They don't want to. They want to play jiu-jitsu, and I would love to see their jiu-jitsu go head to head. Because a lot of people you'll see go against Gordon. They'll play this game right here where they'll just be standing up all the time. Both of them going to go to the ground.
Yeah.
And they're going to want to play.
Okay. And that's honestly what kind of makes me go, whatever, to ADCC. Like, I really like ADCC, don't get me wrong. But I find that it favors standing more than jiu-jitsu. And that's kind of my only gripe about it.
Yeah. I mean...
Oh, hey, can you get the mic?
Yeah.
Or just, you can scoot it over there, too.
Yeah. So, it is a grappling tournament, but they don't mess around with stalling. They'll get on you about that, and that's why I'm like, I can give it a little bit of leeway. But okay. I see what you're saying, though.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Oh, snap. He's got him in side control.
Okay.
So I don't think he gets any points around this time. Is he going for a buggy?
No, they ain't gonna work on him. Mason's probably attacking him. I wish they switched the camera angle. Yeah, man, it's interesting to see what's gonna happen in the grappling world coming in 2024 with these Fight Pass Invitationals. Because it seems like UFC. I was gonna say USC, like they're the Trojans.
They're investing in them. They're investing in jiu-jitsu a whole lot, and
UFC?
so it's opening the doors for a lot of jiu-jitsu guys,
which is really cool.
Yeah, I know.
I didn't think I would see it in my lifetime. It's not. I barely even thought like actual fighting. I think I've said this before. I thought UFC was WWF. I thought it was fake fighting at first.
Yeah,
I really did.
Back in the day. They had like a UFC 1, and I remember it was like banned for TV type of thing, and I was like, I thought they were like these death matches, like they just went in the ring and like one person came out alive. And but I seen this when I was like 12, so I was like really impressionable. So I thought it was like a death match or whatever. But later on I found out that it was like style against style.
Okay.
You know.
No, I could see why you had that impression. It was the early days was pretty cool because there was a lot of blood. There was no rules and go ahead.
No. Go ahead, girl. I'm listening.
I was just saying there was no rules and it just like I just remember I think there were headbutts. I think people were like gouging eyes and stuff. Yes. It was pretty wild.
And, you know, like somebody was like hitting somebody in the crotch.
Yeah.
I was like, it was something that I saw that and it made me afraid to fight. Like I didn't want to do karate or anything like that because it scared me. Because I thought that's what everything was, you know, like just like fighting,
like a fight to the death.
Yeah, that's what I thought it was. I'm like, I don't want to do this.
Oh, shoot, did he get him? I think he just got him in.
Oh snap! Well, I think he broke his arm.
I hope not.
Dude, he broke his arm.
No, please.
He broke his arm, dude, and they're gonna show it. Oh, he popped his shoulder out. Well, he's using it.
He's using it. Let me turn this up a little bit.
Look at him.
All right, what do you win by?
Ladies and gentlemen, referee John Romero calls a stop.
We'll rewind it.
For the winner by submission via Kimura.
That's your move, baby. That's your move. Okay, we'll see the replay. We'll see the replay. Man, I had to, bro. I was 2 seconds away from tapping to that ball.
Wow.
Oh man.
Wow. See, and there you have it. Like he's not as like he had a nice run.
Yeah.
Because no one knew how to stop him. He was like all chaos. But if you can control him, like Mason did, he got him inside control and just controlled him from there.
Here's a replay right here.
Oh, that's it. That's the one.
Oh yeah.
See, this one, that one's really dangerous. That one's really dangerous because like once you get it up, like you take the arm away from the body because you're trying to protect it, you're holding to the body. Once it's up and you turn over, if you don't tap immediately, like once the arm is up, once you turn, it'll pop out of place.
Copy.
Yeah.
Okay. Man.
This is something that I like to do, but if I do it in class or if I do it in a tournament, like when I'm turning, I turn slow because it's ball game.
Yeah.
It's up to the person, like how long you're going to want this to go on for.
Copy.
You know?
Yeah.
But he ripped it.
I mean, what you supposed to do at that level?
I'm glad he cut his hair, Gordon.
Gordon?
Yeah, he was looking a mess.
You don't like Santa Claus Gordon?
No. I don't like Gordon, period. I respect him, but I'm not a fan.
Why not? If you don't want me asking.
You know, there's certain people that you gravitate toward and other people you don't. I wasn't a Conor McGregor fan.
Okay, I see exactly.
I mean, but you need those, man. You need characters that you don't like, you know, and that's what makes things interesting.
Honestly, without him, he made the sport. He's made the sport what it is, and we can't take that away from him.
No, absolutely.
Yeah.
You know, like the reason why they're on UFC Fight Pass right now is a lot because of Gordon. Mm-hmm. You know, like no one else really put the sport on the map like he did. Oh, so this is the main event.
Yeah, that was the main event. No, the main event. Oh, so we were co-main event. Nicky Rod. Yeah. See, that's what I was saying. I really only want to see Nicky Rod and Gordon Ryan. Yeah.
Yuri, I don't know, man. Yuri's the man.
I don't know anything about Yuri, so we're going to have to...
Really?
This is going to be fun, yeah.
Oh, dude, he's the man.
Well, where's he train out of?
I'm not sure.
Okay.
But I know he trains with some good guys. I want to ask you a question on that.
Yeah.
But before I do, I want to say, when you talk about the father stuff, I know exactly what you mean. I didn't grow up with my father, and it was always this thing like I wish I had a father to teach me how to fight. You know what I mean? Because I didn't grow up, and dude, I was bullied, I was scared. You know what I mean? And that like shaped a lot of my upbringing. You know, and and I was always searching for like a father figure, not even knowing that. Mm-hmm. And I remember my master now, my master, Jean-Jacques Machado. I remember, like, I won my second or third tournament, right? Mm-hmm. And like I was keeping it low key. I didn't care. And he had found out about it, and I came to class, and he said, "Come here, champ." And he like touched my face, and for 1 second, I got this feeling like I looked at him, like the way he looked at me was like a proud dad, and I looked at him like, I'll never let you down. Like, I'll win everything for you, you know? And I'm like, is this the feeling that you get when you have a father and he's proud of you?
Yeah.
You know? And I'm like, I never had that feeling. And like to get that feeling at 30 now was weird, you know? And I was like, but I'll do anything for this man now, you know? But I wish I had that early on. Like, I feel like I missed out on something. To ask the question, because I asked myself this question like 100 times, and it took my girl to break it down to me to figure it out, figure out what the answer was. But I want to see what yours is.
Okay.
Why do you compete?
Honestly, for my students in the future and for my teammates. If I'm going to give out advice on the mat, if I'm going to teach anyone, I feel that you should lead by example. Mm-hmm. And whether it's said or not, I think in every gym, coaches want their students to compete.
Yes.
And if I'm at a gym, I think it's important for me as someone who has knowledge and has resources and wants to teach and really does love jiu-jitsu and want to give back to the community, that at least I compete a little bit so I know where these people will be. So I know what they're going through. Because at the end of the day, we're all afraid. Mm-hmm. Even the guy that says, "I'm not afraid," we're all afraid.
Yes.
And I can respect you if you can say, "Hey, yeah, you know what, I'm afraid. I don't really want to do this." What I can't respect is someone who can't consciously go, "I'm afraid."
Yeah.
And just tries to say, "No, I'm not afraid," and "Oh no, this jiu-jitsu is just fun for me, and it would change the meaning of it." No, you're scared. You're a scared little bitch at the end of the day, which is why you don't compete. Mm-hmm. You know, and that's okay. It's okay to be afraid. And I think if I'm vocal about how scared I am, and I'm still going out there and I still compete, maybe somebody who's just as afraid as I am will do that same thing in the future.
Yes.
So I do it for those people. I don't even do it for myself anymore.
Yes.
And I mean, don't get me wrong, I do it for myself because there's goals and things. I want to... Let me get that water in.
Because you're cutting that water with you're like dehydrated.
We're not even watching this match. But there's... it's kind of actually exactly what I thought it was going to be so far. There's goals and things that I want to achieve for myself. I keep saying it. I want one of those gold medals. Those medals are big, they're nice, they're fancy, they're shiny. There's no other reason than that. The other dude
that was on here, I forget his name.
DJ?
I believe no, not DJ.
The guest?
Yeah, you had a guest on here.
Trevor,
he competes.
Yes, he was at...
You guys, he said it the best. He's like, Jiu-Jitsu World League have the best medals. They do. Those medals are dope. Yes. I love that.
And you compete a lot, so you have a bunch of medals.
Yeah.
Don't act shy. We know what's up here.
Like at the end of the year, I'm gonna take a picture with all of them.
Dope.
And I'm like, it's all the medals I got in the last 5 months. It's ridiculous. Okay. But I think I was exercising some demons or something because I was like competing nonstop.
No, I respect it. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna check this camera and make sure it's still rolling.
Okay.
You can watch and still, we're good. Go ahead, keep talking.
Yeah. So it looks like Nicky Rod's doing this thing right now because he's got Yuri right where he wants him, or at least I think. There's that body lock right there. Or the Roddy lock. Oh, he passes guard. Uh-oh. That's his thing, man. That's his thing. Now he's got the back.
And when Nicky gets your back, it's kind of a bad place.
It's kind of a bad place, period, if he gets a body lock in. or the Roddy lock, or whatever he calls it.
Word on the street is that was the same thing Donna heard Todd. He just took it.
No.
That's what I heard.
But here's the thing. What's the saying? You can lead a horse to water, but you can't
Teach you to drink?
Yeah. I mean, look, if he taught him something, he made it his own and perfected it. You know what I mean? That's his.
Yeah.
You know?
No, you're right. And
because I've been taught many things, but I haven't seen.
Let me go back. That did not. I was not trying to discredit what he has done. What Nicky Rod has done is fantastic, especially with that body lock.
Yeah.
It's become a danger. Sorry, I'm watching this.
He's doing this thing.
It's become a dangerous thing for people to have to worry about having to address in competition.
Yes.
Because there's so many entries for him. You don't want him on top and you don't want him on your back.
Oh, dude, this may be it. This may be the beginning of the end right here.
And that's why you see him over here. He's just trying to attack that Kimura, but...
No, he's got that gift.
No, I was saying guy on bottom. Oh, who was it?
Yuri.
Yuri, sorry. Yuri on the bottom was trying to attack the Kimura to, fend off the pressure. Yeah.
That was a good escape, though, what he did. But hold on. So, let me tell you my reason. I asked myself, and it's very close to yours. Like, so we talked about this last time. Since you're teaching, like your whole approach and everything, and why you do everything is a little bit different from mine, and because mine is like strictly from a competitive standpoint.
Yeah.
I kept asking myself this question because I would go to tournaments. I would be nervous. Dude, I told you I cried before. Like I didn't want to go out and I didn't want to compete. And I stayed in my car 2 minutes before I was supposed to go on the mat.
Oh,
and
wow.
I was in my car crying. I was talking myself like, oh, we don't need to do this. Like, it's fine. Mind you, I was doing two. I was doing gi and no gi. I had won gold in gi. So you would think that the confidence would have been there, right? It was not. I went to my car and I was trying to talk myself like, look, we already done it. Like we got a gold medal. Let's just go home. We don't need to do this.
Yeah.
And it was still hitting me. And so I still went out and I competed. And I did well by you. I competed against purple belts and I submitted 2 of them.
Can you swing the mic in front of you? Just
right here? Yeah. So I did well. I submitted 2 purple belts in competition.
Okay.
But I lost to the same guy twice, which pissed me off.
Oh,
but
yeah.
He was better.
How's it feel? Huh?
No, I'm good. Hold on. We're gonna get into we'll get into losses, dude. I took a bad one.
No, I'm joking because I've lost to you twice. That's what I'm joking, bro.
I'm telling you. But like I thought I was doing it because I'm just trying to conquer my fear. Like I don't want fear to control me. And that's why I thought I was doing it. And then after breaking it down over and over and over again, my girl's like, she's like, no. She's like, you're a warrior. Like it's in you. Because I kept competing for some reason. And I'm like, why am I doing this? This is stressing me out. And my girl's like, she's like, you're a warrior. Like you can't hide from what's already inside you. I need to battle. I need to compete. I need to measure myself against something. And I was like, yeah, that's why I do it. And I don't care how like worn out or tired I am, man. I don't care, man. I want to get my hands on somebody, and I want to compete. Like once the jitters and the fear is over and we're rolling, I'm like, all right, let's go. I love competing. I just don't love like the nerves before it.
The nerves, and everyone gets the nerves. I think anyone who says they don't get the nerves is probably lying to themselves. I know. Nicky Rod on top. We're going to get the mother's milk?
No, he's not going to mother's milk him, but he's going to like arm triangles.
There's been a lot of arm attacks too.
Does he look gassed to you?
Who, Nick?
Yeah.
He looks a little tired. But I would imagine it's probably like, oh, I'm tired of dealing with this dude. I thought this would be a little bit easier.
And Yuri's freaking strong. Like, man, look, if Nikki's doing this to him, I would have hated to see what Gordon would have done. Oh no, Gordon was going against Mason, right?
Mason,
yeah, that's right. Okay, so never mind. So it's supposed to be Yuri and Gordon for the super fight at ADCC.
Okay.
Watching this it doesn't make me happy.
No, if Nick
is doing this, this is not going to be fun. To be honest with you, a good super fight would be
Gordon and Nikki.
Or Gordon and Craig.
I can't let it go, man.
Gordon
I can't let it
go. I see what you're saying, but I think Craig would be fun. I think people would go crazy for that.
Going back, did he get him, or is that time?
No, that's time.
Okay. So going back to jitters, I think everyone gets jitters. I think what happens is as you compete more, you learn yourself and you learn how to hone your jitters. If you trust in your jiu-jitsu, if you're not afraid of jiu-jitsu, and you just trust jiu-jitsu for what it is, the principles of leverage, timing, technique, a little bit of strength, a little bit of speed, don't get me wrong. But if you embrace what jiu-jitsu is, those nerves become a little bit less, because what's the most important thing about jiu-jitsu at the end of the day?
Tell me, and I'm going to tell you what I was thinking. I'm going
to tell you. It's why we all do it. It's having fun.
No. Yeah, okay. Yes.
That's why we all do it.
I was going to say like learning how to control yourself.
Yeah.
Because jiu-jitsu, it's never about the opponent. It's about you.
Yes, 100%. But what I was getting at, and that was kind of a loaded question, I think what I was getting at was that if you're not having fun, why are you doing it?
Yeah.
Why are you doing jiu-jitsu? Even through the struggles, you still find a way to have fun. It's like, oh, I hit this technique. Yes, I couldn't do that last week.
Well, I'll tell you, after last week, after this last week, I realized something, why jiu-jitsu may not be fun for some people. And it's the importance that they put on it. Yeah. Like some people, like this thing, like this is a community of people who only care about this, who only know about this. And we're like CrossFitters. If if a person does CrossFit, they tell everybody, you gotta do CrossFit.
We're hybrid CrossFitters.
Yeah. So when we talk about jiu-jitsu, we tell it to everybody. The only people that know about jiu-jitsu, people in the jiu-jitsu community, maybe it's a few outside of it, right? Yeah. And so we're the ones who so no one else cares about this. So we're the ones who puts the importance on this competition or winning this thing right here. Yeah. This weekend I competed at Worlds, and this was my first time doing my second time doing a big tournament. I did Pan, lost first round in Pan, and I did Worlds. Okay. And I was saying to myself, I'm a new kid on the block. I don't care about this. No one knows me. No one knows my game. I'm doing it for experience. I don't have to win this one. And mind you, I went in with an injured back. And I didn't train for a week. I was going in compromised. Yeah. And I beat subbed the first guy, lost to the second guy. And the reason why I lost is because I didn't understand the rules. But during the time, I saw so many people crying and grown men crying for losses, for second place or bronze. And there were other people that were crying because they won. And
I kind of get crying because you won.
No, I get it too, but it's
it shouldn't be that important.
It's just no, I'm not saying that it shouldn't be that important, but we are the ones who decide how important it is. Okay. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. Because it's really not that important. if I won a gold medal at this tournament, no one would remember. but me,
exactly.
it probably like maybe, my girl and maybe like a few people that I keep reminded.
Yeah.
No one would remember that. And if people ask like, oh, did you ever compete? I'm like, oh yeah, I won the blue belt. I'm like, it isn't.
No one cares. And I'm sorry, give me 1 second.
Yeah.
I know we're at that 30-minute mark. I'm
Okay.
going to reset the cameras.
Okay. Yeah.
It's not-
It bums me out. It bums me out.
It bumps me out I didn't hit record when I first got back here on this audio.
And man, we flowing, man. We'll get it back.
It's
We'll
okay.
get it
it's okay.
back.
Man, it's,
So I didn't say. I wanted to say this, man. Since I lost this weekend, dude, I'm telling you, I was so pissed off about. All right, so this was my first time being introduced to like rule sets, like you need to understand rule sets. And I told all my coaches know me. I'm like, man, I'm kill or be killed. Like I'm going in submission. Like if I don't tap you, it don't count to me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's how I feel.
the only reason why I started playing the point game was because I was trying to win tournaments. But it's always been submission in my head. That's always what I freaking wanted.
So I just realized there are like schools that only focus on like points. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, you got to do this, you got to do this. I lost. This is ignorant on my part, but I thought a sweep was. I thought a reversal was the same thing as a sweep. It is not.
Yeah.
I have what I thought was a sweep. I have it's a gator roll.
Okay.
Where I'll like you
under the half guard when they're trying to pass half guard to side control and
yes, I'll just like if I have a control of your wrist,
yeah,
I can just go under you and we'll just roll over.
Yeah, you'll just log. Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. Yep.
And that's considered a reversal. You don't get any points for that. You don't even get points if I do that and go into side control. What? I did that in tournament. Like the guy took me down. And it was my fault because the whole time I wanted to play guard, and he timed it perfectly when I was trying to like grab him and go to the ground, and as soon as I was like sitting, he grabbed my legs and took me down, and it was fine. I grabbed his wrist and reversed it over, landed in side control, 0 points. 0 points. And I'm like, and my coach was like, "Yep, that's how it works." And he held on for dear life after that. Kudos to him. He was a good guy. He wasn't better than me. Like if someone beats me and they're better than me, I'm good with that. I swear to God, I am.
Yeah.
But if someone beats me and I know I'm better than them, it's hard for me to sleep the next day.
Makes sense. Yeah.
But then I watched the rest of the matches, and I saw so many people, even the high level black belts, playing this game of just like points. And it wasn't even like getting a point. It was like getting an advantage. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, it's like, you don't want to, like, I don't want to win. I want to beat this dude, And it's like, you want that? Like that feels incomplete to me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because that's the whole reason why we're doing jiu-jitsu. We're not doing jiu-jitsu to outpoint someone who's robbing us, who comes in our house and we want to outpoint him to death. No, we want to make sure that we can contain this person and neutralize them if we have to. Mm-hmm. Well,
Yeah.
But I think tournaments have become this thing where people are so medal hungry that they don't care. I'm like, look, I'll just, if I got 2 points ahead of you, I'm holding on for dear life.
Anything else?
Wait a minute. This is
Man, we are totally off on all the matches.
How did we forget about this?
Is this Craig Jones?
No, this is Felipe and Nicholas Marigali.
How did we forget about this one?
This is going to be quick.
There's been matches when I've been up on points. I probably should have finished people, and you were at one of them, but I didn't have the heart in me to finish someone. I don't know what the line of bullying is and what the line of just ending it is yet. And I'm still trying to figure out what that is for me.
Say that again?
So one of my matches, it was the one where the guy tapped.
Which one? You tapped a lot of people. Come on, man. You posted them.
No, okay. It was the one where the guy's knee had. It was our very first one where the guy's knee had popped and he tapped, and we went back again. Mm-hmm. That match. Look, all due respect, I got nothing respect for him. We're friends and everything, and I hope he doesn't take this the wrong way. But when his knee popped, the only reason why I allowed us to continue was because I already knew I had him beat, and it was kind of like, if for your heart, if this is part of your journey, you need that, I'm gonna give that to you because I don't need it. I'm where I'm at now, and I'm comfortable in my journey. And unfortunately, I'm sorry you're in my way, but you're in my way. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And that's kind of the attitude I take into every tournament. It's like, I'm sorry you're in my way, but you're in my way. And I'm trying to figure out when to turn that on when I'm up on points, right? Because if I'm up on points, we were talking about trying to get submissions. I have gotten to this point where I'm kind of sufficed. Like, I'm up on points. I'm tired. I got 4 matches ahead of me. I need to ride this out so I can conserve energy for the next match. Mm-hmm. But I know for me and who I want to be as a martial artist, I need to be looking for that final submission. I need to be looking to finish it faster. So that's what I mean. Like, I'm on a warpath. And my last tournament, the guy went... I feel bad because I've talked to these people on Instagram and I forget their names because I've been meeting so many people because of podcasts and some going back and forth. It's overwhelming. So I'm sorry. I believe his name is Mario. We were going in there, and there was a point, and I was like, "Yo, I have this guy beat on technique. I need to finish this because." He is a Tasmanian devil. He is not going to stop. His heart, he is not going to stop. I need to finish this. I need to find a way to finish this because I got you to worry about. You know, and then I turned that switch on and I tried, and I failed. I don't say horribly because I failed and I got out of bad position, still won the match, plenty of points. No issues at all. But, and again, I mean no disrespect. It's just, where my jiu-jitsu was that day, it was just better than his. And that's where it's coming from. And so...
You know what? Let me say something, too. Like, there's a difference between trying to win on points because some people will get 2 points and stall. Like, that's different from you just flat out dominating somebody. Okay. Because you were the dude I saw you go against, you were dominating him. He had no chance. Yeah. You know, and I know you were trying to finish, but it was more like... It was more like he couldn't do anything with you, so it honestly didn't matter. Yeah. You know what I mean? It was like only if it was a no time limit at a certain point, he's like, gonna get you know what I mean? He's gonna have to give up. You know, but I didn't mean to cut you off. Go ahead.
No, you're good. It's just I genuinely embody the Deku spirit. I'm gonna put you on this show, and
I'm gonna get on it.
His spirit is like, hey guys, I want to be a hero, and I want to get there as fast as I can, and I want to help this camera stopped. Of course. Let's go back here. I was talking about my hero and how I really embody Deku's spirit of. Deku wants to be the number one hero. He wants to he's so excited to be a hero. All he does is study, take notes, watches all the old hero videos, very much like myself. So I embody that spirit, and he's also like, hey, let me help you. If you want help, like, let's all get better together. Let's work together. We can all climb to the number one spot together. It doesn't have, like, I want to be number one. That's cool, but it doesn't have to be me versus you. It can be we all work together, we push each other to get better, and we propel ourselves forward. And that's why he's someone I don't want to say idolize because I don't believe in having idols. But I do like to think that I embody his spirit in some fashion because I want to help people and I want to see the weakest of us get as strong as they can. I want to get out. You talk about being bullied, not having a dad, and just not having confidence. That plagues us throughout society. Yes. And it sucks because where does it stop? I was having this conversation with someone recently, someone who's very dear to me that I love very much. And I'm trying to find this space within our relationship to say, hey, I'm hurt by how things have happened between us. I'm not mad at it. I'm just hurt. I forgive you. I want to move forward. Here's how we can move forward.
Mm-hmm.
And
you said it like that.
Yes. There's always a reason why. You know what I mean? Oh, well, I've never done it that way. I don't know. I never thought of that. There's always a reason why with most people and why they're not willing to come meet you in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
And what I feel at the end of the day, that reason comes down to is they don't want to change.
Mm-hmm.
And unfortunately for me and the path that I'm on, I've realized how much sitting stagnant and not wanting to change is debilitating and is detrimental to not only your mental health, your physical health. It's just detrimental overall to any sort of success. So now I'm on this journey to express myself to the fullest, take my space, and love as many people as possible.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
No, it's like you got to mourn those losses too.
Yeah.
Like I don't know if this person is like a friend or whatever, but it's like when you find that out, you got to mourn that. It's a process. I've dealt with that too. I dealt with like outgrowing a person.
Yeah.
And it sucks to say it like that. When you like,
yeah.
But is there like sometimes you just outgrow people.
Yeah.
And people that you grew up with, people that you love
to death.
Yeah. And you just like, our paths stop here. Unfortunately.
And there's some people that you grow up with that you end up hating.
Yeah.
But you only hate them because hate is the other opposite side of the coin of love.
Yeah.
And that's because at the end of the day, they betrayed your trust, hurt you. And so...
Well, hate is a strong word.
Yeah.
And so I dislike a lot of people.
Yeah. Okay.
I may have like one person in my life that I hate.
So for me, when you fall into the category of bully, selfishness in the sense of at the expense of others, to get ahead, I have to have a hate for that because it's not righteous and it's not pure,
Yeah.
And it's a very thin line for myself of where that balance is,
So when you see someone getting bullied, do you feel like you need to step in the middle or say something? For instance, if someone's getting bullied on the mat and you see it.
Oh, bullied on the mat, 100%, yeah. If I see it on the mat, then yeah, I'm going to step in some way. It depends upon the scenario. It depends upon also the power I feel I might have in whatever gym I'm in. Because not my monkey, not my circus. If it's not my gym, if I don't hang my hat there, it's not really my business. I could, tell the head coach, but what does that look like for me as a guest saying, hey, you got shit on the floor in your house. You might want to clean that up. You know what I mean? And I don't want to, there's a lot of egos in jiu-jitsu. I don't want to offend anybody. I really like Deku. I just want to do jiu-jitsu and get the best that I can be and make as many friends as possible.
But it don't work like that, right?
It doesn't. And there's so many games. There's political things. There's, favorite. I don't even know how to explain it. It's a minefield, and it's the same thing that you encounter in jiu-jitsu is the same thing that you encounter outside in the real world.
Go ahead. I don't want to get on a tangent or like throw it to another direction.
No, keep going.
But it sounds so cliche and you hear it every time, but it's so freaking true. Like every lesson that you learn in jiu-jitsu, you can apply to your life. I've learned so much about how I should approach things in my life from something that happened in jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
Mainly from competing, and it's like, it's like, like one of the biggest ones was like when I realized that, like, when I first started jiu-jitsu, you talk to anybody, like their goal is to become a black belt, right? Mm-hmm. That's like the ultimate. You've climbed the top of the mountain, right?
Yeah.
And it was when I got into blue belt, halfway through my blue belt, like I'm like, I don't want to, like I want to learn as much as I can. I don't want to get promoted.
Yeah.
Like I want to be a good blue belt. Like I want to be the best blue belt that I can be.
Yeah.
And then like when it's time, I'll move up. But I'm not in a rush. And I'm like, oh man, I wish I could feel that way about life. You know what I mean? Because I'm trying to rush everything in life.
Yeah.
But it's like, I was like, why can't I just be like, I want to be the best that I can be in this part right here. And then when I'm ready to move forward, I'll move on. You know? Like, it's like, man, I want to apply this. But I forgot how we got on this term. But yeah, it's like jiu-jitsu plays so many parts. It plays so many parts in teaching us about life.
Yes.
No,
I agree. And I've learned, what I find the hardest part about that whole thing is we get those tools, we get them in our box, but where do you use them? Mm-hmm. Where are they applicable? It's like when you're day one and you're taught an armbar, but you don't know what to do with it. What am I going to do with this armbar? How do I even get him in this position to do this armbar? Mm-hmm. It's like, yeah, I memorize all the steps. Yeah, I can do it every single time perfectly on the training dummy, on my partners in the training room, but can't do it in live rolls. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. So, go.
I was listening to something not too long ago, and they was talking about like academies and how they train. Mm-hmm. Let me ask you something. I've heard there were three ways of training, right? Mm-hmm. There's the normal academy way. I'm not going to call it any schools, where they warm up and then they teach like two things and then you roll. There's other academies where they mostly just roll, and then the third one is like a professional gym. Mm-hmm. Where the coach or the professor, whatever, he teaches a concept, and he says, I want you to apply this concept to your game. We're going to focus on this concept. We're going to focus on like situational training with this concept, and then we'll roll after, but keep, apply this concept to your game. And when I heard that, I'm like, oh man, I wish I had something more like that.
Yeah.
Like, all right, so I guess the question I'm asking is, if you were running a school, what would be your way of like running it? like how would you make your curriculum? Because I feel like a lot of schools, and I haven't been doing it for very long, get it wrong.
Man, I haven't even...
Because you said you want to teach, so I figured,
No, that's a really good question. I think the biggest thing I want to foster is an environment that inspires learning without hazing or bullying, and that respects all people.
No, but I'm more asking, like, how would you run it? Like,
that's what I'm getting at.
Because I know the ethics that you want your gym to carry.
Okay, so how would I run it as far as structurally?
Yes.
Everything I would do would be very self-defense based. My curriculum would be based upon watching MMA fights and how they incorporate jiu-jitsu into fighting, because I feel it's probably the closest you're going to get to a real life scenario. So you have this example of these elite fighters on how they deal with things in these situations. Now, when you're up against some random dude on the street who doesn't know any of this, it's going to give you a leg up.
Yes.
The simple concept of going to half guard and being in half guard to like protect your face and block the shots and track the arms so they can't just hammer down on you, come up, get the underhook. Like those things I don't feel are necessarily taught in jiu-jitsu unless you have a jiu-jitsu course that is self-defense based and is worried about punches and strikes. So 100% striking is going to be involved in my jiu-jitsu.
Okay.
So self-defense striking, a lot of situational training.
Yes.
We talked about this on the last episode. Sorry, I need some water.
I know you. I know. You gonna need it.
It's gonna be a long day. I heard the bracket's big. You were telling me the bracket's pretty big,
dude. It was like, look, and it's relative. Big is relative when it comes to masters too.
Yeah.
But when you have like more than 7 or 8 people, you're like, this bracket's crazy.
It's a game.
But like, I want as many. I want 4 on the way to go.
Okay. Let's do it.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
I want 4 people.
Sorry, I don't want to cut you off, but back to what I was saying is self-defense, situational training. I think what I'll probably end up doing is probably just what I like about the school I'm at now is we spend months on something. I will say Fridays will always be a freestyle Friday for me in my gym. Fridays will always be, hey, I'm going to show you one move or concept, like you were saying. I want you to figure out how to use that in your game. But Fridays is the day I want you to come in with something that you want to work on. And if you can't figure it out, I'm going to be walking around the room. And then I'll look at you, hey, do you have a question? Or I'll be walking around, hey, professor, I'm struggling with this. Can you show me how to do this?
Yeah.
And I experienced that at a gym, and it was just astronomical for my game because it got me thinking, what would I do in this situation?
Yeah.
And I think that's something I will definitely incorporate into my academy. But situational training, I spent 6 months. I'm so mad you it wasn't my back though. Talk about the choke you got me in. So the start of my jiu-jitsu journey, I pride myself, we talk about ego. I pride myself on my back defense. That's where I'm at. So I was like, well, technically it wasn't my back because it was 3/4 mount. So you get what I'm saying. Yeah. So I pride myself on my back defense because that's where I spent the first half of a year doing jiu-jitsu. Like my first trainer, AJ, from Savage Fight Squad, bro. You wouldn't expect it. Just he's so strong. He's this Muay Thai ex-fighter. Like he's a trainer. He trains all these elite. Oh man, bro, he has 2 champions in bare knuckle boxing right now. 2. They just won the championships like this last weekend. Yeah. So he's a good trainer.
Yeah.
He spent 6 months as my backpack, just fucking choking the shit out of me.
Yeah.
And it was a very good learning experience for me because I felt comfortable. I didn't feel like he was trying to kill me. So I was thrown in the fire a lot, and I was comfortable being thrown in the fire. And, it was nice. So when I officially went into a jiu-jitsu gym, I had a good, little set of skills already in my bag.
Yeah.
And I felt like that put me leagues above everyone else. And I still feel like what I did there still carries over now even in blue belt. And I'm just like, I don't understand how people don't understand the back. It makes no sense to me at blue belt. Like there's a progression here that takes you from rear naked choke, cross lapel choke, to bow and arrow, to arm bar. There's a whole progression that if you start at the beginning of the chain and just learn your way back, it's almost as long as you have back control, you can submit someone from anywhere on their back.
Yeah. That's my, I'm going to go ahead and say it, I don't care. That's my kryptonite.
What, the back?
They're two. No, I'm back.
Oh.
I mean, here's the thing. All right, I'm going to knock on wood. I pride myself on if someone takes my back, I don't get worried.
Same.
At all.
Same.
But I do have 2 kryptonites. One is the bow and arrow. I can get out, but if I feel you reaching for it, I start panicking.
Copy.
And the other one is the darce.
Darce.
I hate darces. And the reason why darces are my enemies because I like half guard. And that's the perfect.
Yes.
They're two. I'm telling you, I'm giving you my whole game,
bro.
It's just like, I guess it
we
don't matter,
you do
right?
realize we like the same game,
Yeah.
right? So we have the same weaknesses.
When I go to half guard and I do underhook,
Yeah,
it opens the door for
the
darts.
100%.
And I hate that because I'm like, oh, this is my go-to. Nope.
The good thing you
I
have
swear
to
to
worry
God,
about.
if I get darsed, if you darce me, I'll be so mad.
That's what I was just about to say. You are very strong. To get that kind of control of you, I think you would have to be gassed. Like, you would have to be really gassed. I don't think, at least this isn't me. I can do a Darce. Conceptually, I understand it. Could I pull it off in the moment? Yes, I could. Do I think I could do it on you in the moment? No. Because I think you're too talented. There's other blue belts that I've gone against. I'm like, yeah, I could have pulled it off if the timing was right, whatever. But I just think you're too talented, and you're probably like me when you know where your weakness is. You're probably like very hyper alert when you're there.
When someone starts playing with it a little bit, you're like, all right, let me get out of this.
That's why I was so mad. I'm really mad about the last submission that you got on me, and it's not because I got finished. It's because I knew what you were doing. I was shifting for 1 second before to re-grab my grip. I was shifting because I wanted to have a solid grip on the lapel. I mean, on your sleeve. My shoulder was tweaked in the wrong spot, and I wanted to get that clear and also protect from the back triangle. And that shift is when you attacked. I was like, mother.
Yeah. And I remember that moment too. And I was like, oh, this is, because I didn't have it.
Yeah.
I didn't have it. I was threatening, but I didn't have it. And it was just like that second, that one. Yeah. Yeah. And it was like, oh, that's it. You know what I mean? And even you knew it too, and you were still able to get your grips, but it was still too late. Like if you get just enough of an angle, that's it. That's ball game.
And we were talking about points, right?
Yeah.
In that moment, I'd already known before I exploded up and put myself in that position. I already looked at the clock and knew it was 30 seconds left before I made that explosion. And I was down 10 points. So I knew that I had to submit you. So it was one of those, if I fight out of this, and let's just say I get out of it, this is deep. This is rough. I got 30 seconds left, maybe 25. I'm not finishing this. Like, I'm just going to be real. I'm done. I'm just going to tap. I'm going to live to fight another day. Kind of like we were talking about earlier. It's just like, there's no reason to take the damage.
No.
Because I can't win by points, and you're really good. So with 20 seconds left, it would be a hell of a miracle to reverse that kind of position, exactly that kind of dominant position to win.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So, because I know we don't got that much time, because I know we wanted to touch on like why jiu-jitsu isn't fun, and I saw that, but I'm curious because I went through this weekend. When there's 1 minute left, right?
Yeah.
Or there's 30, let's say like 40 seconds left, right? 40 seconds is respectable, and you're down 5. What goes on in your head? Because there's a moment where you say, there's nothing I can do. You know what I mean? Like you're 40 seconds left, you're gassed, like you got no more life in you, and a person is like got you in close guard and they're holding on for dear life. What goes on in your head? Are you giving up? Are you like throwing a Hail Mary? Or are you like, I'm just going to empty the tank and I don't care what happens?
It depends upon the position. If you're speaking, I'm inside their close guard, I'm down 5 points. I got to pass guard. I got to pass guard and I got to mount. Pass guard, mount, submit along the way. That's all I'm thinking about. I'm down. I've been in that situation before and I've done it and I know what it takes to do it. So it's a situation I'm comfortable in and I'll go for it every time. But like the situation we're in, I was beat. There's no fight. So it's like,
so it has you dead to rights, you know.
Dead to rights. Like I have to just like live to fight another day.
You know what? I think I'm having clarity on something. I think I mentally quit. I don't feel like I did in the moment, but in my last tournament, the dude was just, everyone was telling me, get out, get out, get out. I'm like, I can submit him in closed guard. Like, I can still submit him with him having me in closed guard. And I threw a Hail Mary, it didn't work, and it was like 20 seconds left.
Yeah.
And in my head, it was like, we can't submit him, like, and we're not gonna have enough time. And I mentally gave up. Yeah. And I don't like that.
I think,
even if it is 20 seconds, you know what I mean?
Pragmatically, we've talked about this before, right? We're not getting paid for this. We're only getting older.
Yes.
And
oh my God, yes.
if you know you're beat and you don't, and this is what I was talking about, trust your jujitsu, right? Like, if at that moment you don't feel confident in your jujitsu, because you know what you're capable of. You know when if you've been testing your belt, you know when you're in those compromised positions, when you're really compromised and when you're beat, or when you can fight a little bit more and when you can push and live to fight another day. Like, you gotta, I always say safety. That's the other thing I'm gonna promote in my gym is safety, stretching, recovery. I was a bullheaded kid, bro. I broke my neck when I was 9 years old, flipping off a dresser in the backyard. Even with that, I'd ride bikes, jumping off curbs, smacking my face directly into concrete, driving cars fast, peeling around corners, slamming the telephone poles, going through windshields. I've always been a wild kid, not caring about my body. Mainly because I'm like, oh, they'll fix it in the future because of science and technology. But I didn't have a dad, bro. I didn't have a dad to like hone me back and pull. I mean, I had a dad, but what I mean is in those vital years, my dad showed up in my life when I was 9 years old. But at that time, I was still in a foster home. So there was still like a year period to like 9 to 10, right? By 10, 11, I'm already kind of in those teenage years, right? We're moving across the country. So it's these weird years where I've already kind of established who I want to be, and there's someone new coming in, and the dynamic isn't fixed yet, right? And I have nothing but the utmost love for my dad. I'm gonna say my dad Will, so you have a name to him.
Okay.
My dead father, I'm just gonna say my dad. I have nothing but the utmost respect for him, but I do understand. And Dad, I'm sorry if this bothers you. We can talk about this offline at some point. But I love you. I understand the traumas he went through. I understand that his dad wasn't really there for him. And I feel like it's just generational trauma being perpetuated. And so he wasn't able to see, at least I don't think, either he wasn't able to see or he wasn't able to give because he was dealing with his own traumas, his own parental traumas that are like far crazier than my own. Like, I'm sorry, I feel like I'm droning here, but I want you to understand kind of where I'm coming from.
Do you feel like that it ends with you? Like, do you feel like you're going to break the cycle? Because we all have generational trauma and like that follow us, but there's a spot where we can stop it.
Yeah. I believe God put me on this earth to stop it. That sounds egotistical. Let me explain. I think I don't want children. I don't want children because I know the burden that really is to be a father, or more so the burden it is to have an absent father. There are too many souls here that don't have fathers that I think God put me on this earth to try and help. And that's what I think my purpose is. And I say this as someone who grew up his whole life. I have to have children. My legacy has to live on. My last name has to live on. It has to glorify me. I couldn't find an unselfish reason to have a child. When I really stripped away everything, couldn't find an unselfish reason that didn't revolve around ego. So for myself, I made the declaration, I don't want kids. But I look at myself as sort of like a Peter Pan, and my lady is kind of like my Wendy, right? Mm-hmm. And our life is supposed to take care of those lost boys and those lost girls who didn't have parents and find a way to give back. And I think that's why God put us here and why he linked us up.
And so you're talking about like adopting.
At this point, I need to
take it in like foster children.
Yeah,
because that's what my mom did. Like I had a lot of foster brothers and sisters growing up.
Yeah, so foster children is probably where I'm really looking at. I want to make the most difference, and I know what it's like to be a kid caught up in the system.
Yes,
and looking for hope and not knowing where it's going to come from, and just wanting to be loved. Like that's just it's the hardest thing to explain. It's like kids just want to be loved, and they don't understand why they're not loved.
Yeah.
So
absolutely, and this is the whole reason why I guess it shocks me to hear you say that you don't want to have kids, because you strike me as a person who would be an incredible father figure, who would be an incredible father, and you have like the foresight to like know how to tutor a child to an adult. You know what I mean?
I think the foresight is part of the reason why I have that, I guess, belief, is because I have the foresight to see that if I had $1 billion in the bank, if I could give the kid whatever they wanted, there was no guarantee I wouldn't cause trauma or pain in that child's life. And that's not to mean that I shouldn't try. Mm-hmm. But if I can't guarantee that, I don't feel it's right for me to condemn another soul that didn't ask to be here, when there are other souls that are here that didn't ask to be here, that need a savior, that need a hero. And I feel like that's where I come into this world.
I get it.
Yeah. But I'm still on that journey, man. I'm trying to figure it out. It's hard. And I've been called an individual before by multiple, authority figures. For me, I'm an individual because I'm looking, while I was always, when I was younger, I was always looking for that mentor to say, hey, I like you. Mm-hmm. I'm going to invest in you. I'm going to build you up. You see it in these cartoons. You see it in these movies, these mentors that go, hey, I want to help you achieve your dreams and your goal. Mm-hmm. I was always looking for that. I was looking for that in sports. Anytime I did sports, and when I didn't get that in sports, I'd be like, man, F this, I'm out. And I think that's also where Blue Belt Blues comes in. As men, most of us have a father wound in some way or another, mm-hmm. whether we had a father present in the home or not. Because being in the home and being present are two different things. Mm-hmm. And I get you got to work, the economy, the man's jobs provide work. There's some people who just go this militant mindset. So for me, I've always been an individual because no one has taken me under their wing and said, hey, I like you. I want to invest in you. Mm-hmm. So since no one has done that, I'm going to keep doing me, and I'm going to rock how I rock. And at this point, I'm 35 years old. So unless you are walking the path and I see you walking that path specifically, I'm not going to follow, because real recognize real at the end of the day.
Yeah. So it sounds like you were always wanting a male figure, let's say, that one person to believe in you.
Yeah. That's exactly what it was. I just wanted someone to believe in me. The difference is now where I'm at is I believe in myself. And I guess you can call that ego, but I believe in myself.
No, man. We got to believe in ourselves. Yeah. So sometimes no one else.
Yeah.
But I get it. Like, everyone wants a Mr. Miyagi.
Exactly. Yeah.
Everyone wants to be like someone to see something in us that we don't see. Mm-hmm. And like, I wanted that. I still want it. I still think there are times where I yearn for it and I don't even know, and I think that's just like a human thing.
Yeah.
Do
So let me ask you real quick.
Yeah.
We've talked a lot about my father. What was your father's situation growing up?
So my father just wasn't in my life at all. Like a situation happened. From what I know, from my first memory of life was 4 years old, and the first man that I saw, I know he wasn't my father, but he was living in the house.
Yeah.
And my mom wasn't married to him, but I always referred to him as my stepfather.
Okay.
I had him for a year, and in that year, he taught me about WWF, comic books, and video games. And he played basketball. He flew. He was in the Air Force. He flew jets, and he boxed. He was the coolest man that I've ever met in my entire life. And I only had him for a year, and my whole life I didn't realize I was slowly trying to become him. you know.
Yeah.
My biological father, I met him. I stayed with him for a summer when I was 5.
Mm-hmm.
And then I saw him one more time when I was in high school, and that was it. And the last time I talked to him before this last one, I was 16. That was the last time I even seen him, had a conversation with him, anything. And I want to say it was 2 years ago. My therapist told me I was having problems with something, and she's like, I think it may be related to your father. Mm-hmm. And she says, I'm going to challenge you. You should give your father a call. And I called him on Christmas Eve, and it did not go well.
Yeah.
And he blamed me for not reaching out to him. And I was like, that was it. Like, I did get something out of that conversation. What I learned, and I was able to forgive him, was that when I was born, like, my father kept telling my mother all he wanted in the world was a boy. He wanted a son. Mm-hmm. He wanted to raise a son. He wanted to teach him this and that. He was so excited when my mom was pregnant. But my mom wasn't happy with him or the family. Mm-hmm. So when my mom got pregnant, when a doctor gave her the okay to travel with me, she left. And he called and he says, hey, she left without telling him anything. Mm-hmm. And he said, he called her, he says, Curlin, he says, why'd you leave? He says, why'd you take my boy away from me? He says, when are you coming back? She says, I'm not coming back. He's like, you took my son. You know, that's all I wanted was my son. She says, I'm not coming back. He drove down there, dropped off all her clothes, and he never came back. Damn. And he was devastated. I didn't know that. Yeah. My mom told me that, and I didn't know that for like my whole adult life. And it made me understand him more. Like he got his heart ripped out of his chest. Yeah. You know? And so now I can have this forgiveness. Like, I understand him now. And I understand, like, he was probably dealing with something that I don't know how to that I wouldn't truly understand, but I do understand, like, what that could feel like. Yeah.
Can you move the mic? You just got to twist it. Yeah. Perfect.
Yeah. I can understand what that may feel like. Mm-hmm. And so I can forgive him. You know what I mean? Because before I was like, man, I don't care about this dude. Like, the next time I see him is at a funeral, and I have to pay my respect. That's to be the last time I see him. And I was telling them, like, I wouldn't even if they call me today and they said to me, your father's dead, I'm like, okay. Like, when is the funeral? Like, I wouldn't even cry, but now if something happened to him, like, I still wouldn't cry, but like, I was like, you know, like, I hope the best for you. You know, like I hope you had a good life. Yeah, you know, and that's us having a horrible last conversation. Yeah, he said some stuff about my mom that I did not appreciate, and he said he was talking reckless to me. So I was like, all right.
Honestly, that's why my little bro. My little bro didn't F with him because of that same reason. He would talk about my mom a certain way. And
you can't do that. You can't. You're not going to talk about the woman that raised me. You know?
But For where we come from, you're talking about understanding your father and the heartbreak, and we were talking about giving up earlier, and you mentioned this.
Yeah.
My father gave up. When I cleaned out his apartment, bro, I'm talking trash everywhere, bed bugs, roaches, like living on Skid Row, one of those hotels in downtown Los Angeles. This is how this man lived and died. And seeing that was like, oh, you gave up. You tried, but you didn't walk the path. You knew the path, but you never walked it. Because you see all these self-help books. You see these books on how to do this, in his place, and you just know that this individual gave up. And I wonder what was the point. Was it my mom leaving? Because I know he was in a relationship before that hurt him. Mm-hmm. Much like your dad, all he ever wanted was to be a father and to have a son, and rightfully so. I was named after him, and
same thing
by the universe, bro. Born
same
on
thing.
The same day. That's divine. You know what I mean? You can't. You write that in a script. So I understand him on a level, and I have a forgiveness, much like you were saying. So when he passed, it was nice to kind of already be in that place because I was able to grieve in a healthy way instead of grieving from a place of hate,
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
Like, the more you explain it, the more I kind of understand, like, you putting yourself in his place. If you can put yourself in his place, you know what I mean? Like, if all you want to do is give a great example,
Mm-hmm.
but you're not capable of doing that in the present moment, you want to, like, hide. You know what I mean? Like, I can't imagine.
This is why I compete. I compete because I don't believe that I should say I could bang with the best of them if I'm not willing to go out there and try.
Yeah. And this is when it goes back to talking about life lessons. Again, like you said, like, if we're ever in this situation and we have sons or we have someone that we're tutoring or mentoring and we're not in the best place, that's the 20 seconds on the clock. Even though we know we're down and we may lose this one, do we still fight? Do we still fight? And we'll, like, empty the tank and be like, I don't care.
It's a really good question. And I kind of have to go back to my hero. That's why I'm looking at his figures right now. I'm just like, all my, the number one hero. And my hero was, he always said the essence of a hero is meddling even when it's not wanted. And something about that's a little selfish, right? Thinking that you have the right to come in. Sorry. I need... And something about that's a little selfish, right? Just thinking that you have the right to come into anyone's life and tell them how they should live or how they should change or how your way, your view set could better them. Mm-hmm. Who gives me that right? No one. But when it comes to people within your close circle and the people that you love, I think there's kind of a right there, because if I see someone I love drowning in the water and I got a boat and a life jacket or one of those lifesaver rings, who am I if I don't throw that out to them? Mm-hmm. They don't have to take it. Mm-hmm. You're fine? You sure you're fine? I try. Mm-hmm. And so that's kind of where I'm at with people. I'm going to try to be a hero, but if you want to drown, I'm going to let you drown. If that makes sense. Yeah.
But you're like, look, you can't stop me from, at least trying.
Yeah, and that's yes.
I'm not gonna force you out of this water, but I am gonna give you.
I'm gonna give you this life raft, and if you hate me for it, you're gonna hate me for it. And I'm dealing with that within my personal relationships right now, and it sucks. To pretty much go through a breakup with your family member, because that's what it is at the end of the day. When you set boundaries and say, hey, this can't stand within a relationship, or I'm going to have to remove myself from the equation, I'm breaking up with you. That's hard. That's hard to do with just a girlfriend, but it's even harder to do with family. So,
depends on who you are. And me, I don't care about family. like I love my family, but I'm like,
because you're a savage. That's why you're a problem.
I'm like, there's certain family that I love, and there's certain family like I can deal with it without you. I don't need you in my life. But no, I get exactly what you're saying. Like like any breakup, friend or family, there's going to be a mourning.
Yes,
it's not where it's over and that's it. No. It's going to hurt.
It hurts.
Yeah.
It doesn't because you're being rejected. Like, you're rejecting that person or they're rejecting you. And rejection hurts. Yeah. Just like losing. That's not what I meant like that. I just meant just losing in general, like in jiu-jitsu. Yeah. Whatever. We'll end it. Again, thank you, Michael, for tapping in. Yeah. DJ will be back next week. He was sick. We miss you, bro. Come back. Come back, man. DJ. Don't leave us.
I want the smoke, DJ. If you're looking at this, if you see this, I want all the smoke. He caught me in a Darce. And he thought that I was cool. I was like, oh, yeah, I wasn't cool about it, dude. I've had 5 dreams already about it. I want it. I want it back.
Oh,
whenever.
Man.
Whenever you want it.
DJ, he wants all that smoke, bro.
I want it all.
Where you at?
And I don't care how I got to get it. Whenever we can do it at the park,
Oh, shoot. We got the mats.
Yeah.
No, we still got to get a link up and study.
I mean, but hold on, don't not right now because I'm cutting and you probably have more weight on me. But next week.
DJ's cutting. He's been on his stuff from what he was telling me. Yeah.
But he ain't cutting like I'm gonna be down to 190.
You're right. You're right.
No, I don't want to deal with him at 190. I want to deal with him on like 215 at least.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, DJ, let's get to work. All right. Thank you, everyone, for tapping in. We're going to tap out for now. It has been fun. It's been a pleasure. Please like, subscribe. We're so close to 100 subscribers right now. Thank you guys so much. That's beautiful. We're not even 2 months in. So thank you for all the love that you guys shared and showed. We're going to try to make this better. We had a boxing thing where we're going to go down to a boxing gym, me and DJ. He got sick. We didn't do that. So that's why we ended up doing this podcast here with Michael Ross. But hey, you're more than welcome to tag in when we do that one or we go to other gyms. I got another Fight Squad Strike with Purpose that I link up with on Saturdays down in Long Beach. So
hey, I'm free on Saturdays.
Let's do it.
All
right, everyone. We tapping out. Y'all have a great day. Like, subscribe. Mad love.